It feels like the hope is gone. You can see it on social media, you can feel it in the market. The sentiment for Cardano has completely crashed. We are officially at a 5-month low in positive sentiment. The excitement has faded, the tourists have left, and it feels like the market has moved on, chasing after the 700% gains on XRP or whatever the new hot thing is this week. But what if this feeling of despair is not a reason to sell, but the single greatest signal to buy? What if, while the entire retail market is looking the other way, Cardano has been quietly securing one of the most significant real-world partnerships in its entire history? What if the smart money, the real money, is using this low sentiment as the perfect cover to accumulate? Today, we're not talking about hype. We are talking about a massive disconnect between perception and reality. We are going to break down the data behind the sentiment crash and reveal the landmark government partnership that nobody seems to be pricing in. Here's how we're going to dissect this opportunity. First, we will dive deep into these two opposing forces, the crash in market sentiment versus the explosion in real-world adoption. Then we'll explore the bear case, the argument that the negative sentiment is justified and the market simply doesn't care about Cardano anymore. After that, we will cover the powerful bull case, arguing why this is a classic contrarian setup. Then we will look at the charts to see if this story is being confirmed by the price action. And finally, I'll give you my exact price prediction and how I am viewing this unique moment. Let's get straight into the data. We have to start with the bad news, with the feeling that is dominating the market. Two separate reports from CryptoRank today have confirmed the same sobering fact. Weighted sentiment for Cardano has crashed to a 5-month low. This isn't just a feeling, it's a quantifiable metric. It means that on balance, the tone of conversations around ADA on platforms like X, Telegram, and Reddit is more negative now than it has been for almost half a year. The reasons are obvious. The price has been lagging, failing to produce the explosive gains seen elsewhere. An article from ainvest.com today highlights this perfectly, talking about investors chasing massive gains in XRP. The market is chasing fast money, and Cardano's steady, methodical approach feels boring in comparison. This low sentiment is a direct reflection of investor apathy and impatience. But now for the disconnect. While the market has been distracted, MyTrade published a bombshell report today, September 5th. Cardano has officially entered into a partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let me repeat that. This is not a DApp, not a startup, not a venture capital firm. This is a partnership with a G20 nation, one of the wealthiest and most powerful countries in the world. The report details a pilot program for a digital transformation initiative. This is the very definition of real-world adoption. It's a government looking at all the available blockchain technology in the world and choosing Cardano's secure decentralized foundation to build its future on. This is the kind of news that should be causing a 50% pump, but because sentiment is in the gutter, the market has barely reacted, and that is where the opportunity lies. Now, let's argue the bear case. Why is the market ignoring a deal with Saudi Arabia? The bears would argue that the negative sentiment is correct. They'll say, look, it's just a pilot program, it's not a full-scale nationwide rollout. They'll argue it could amount to nothing, a small test that gets abandoned in a year. The market, they claim, is rightfully ignoring this because it has no immediate impact on price. The bear case is that Cardano has lost the war for attention. In crypto, narrative and hype are what drive prices in the short term. While Cardano is slowly working on government pilots, other coins are delivering 700% gains in capturing the imagination and the capital of the retail market. The low sentiment isn't an opportunity, it's a warning sign. It's the market telling you that this project has become boomer crypto, slow, boring, and with its best days behind it. They'd say the smart move is to follow the money, not to bet on a pilot program that might never pay off. But I believe that view is incredibly short-sighted. I believe the bulls have the winning hand here. And this is one of the clearest contrarian buying opportunities we have seen all year. The greatest fortunes in investing are made by having the courage to buy when everyone else is fearful. The 5-month low in sentiment is not a warning sign, it is the buy signal. It is the market giving you the chance to accumulate an asset at a price that does not reflect its fundamental reality. While retail traders are getting liquidated, chasing the flavor of the week, the Cardano Foundation is shaking hands with government ministers. There are levels to this game. A partnership with Saudi Arabia, even a pilot program, is a strategic victory of immense proportions. It provides a stamp of legitimacy that no amount of marketing can buy. It opens the door to the entire Middle East and North Africa region. It proves the utility and security of the Cardano blockchain at a nation-state level. This is not a short-term catalyst, it is a foundational block for the next decade of growth. The market's failure to recognize this is a gift. The bull case is simple: you are buying a world-class asset at a discount precisely because the market is too impatient to see its true value. Now let's look at the charts. Does the price action support this contrarian thesis? Let's pull up the one-day chart from today, September 5th. We can see the price is currently at 0.83 cents. But look at the story this chart tells. We saw a dip earlier today down towards the 0.81 level as the negative sentiment likely drove weak hands to sell. But that dip was aggressively bought up, pushing us right back to the top of the daily range. This is not the chart of an asset that nobody wants. This is the chart of an asset that is undergoing accumulation. Let's establish our key levels. For support, the first level is the daily low around $0.81. Holding this is key to showing buyer strength. Below that, the major psychological and technical support sits at the 0.80 level. As long as we are above 80 cents, the bulls are in a position of strength. For resistance, the immediate challenge is breaking and holding above today's high of 0.83 cents. A clean break here would signal that the accumulation phase is over and a markup phase is beginning. Beyond that, the next major target would be to reclaim the 0.90 level, which was a key zone before this final sentiment crash. The pattern we see here is a classic bottoming formation, the volatility, the sharp dips that get instantly bought back up. This is the signature of smart money absorbing the supply from panicked retail sellers. The chart is telling us the exact same story as the news. While the crowd is selling in despair, larger players are quietly buying, positioning themselves for the moment the market wakes up and realizes the significance of a deal with Saudi Arabia. So let's put it all together and arrive at a final prediction. To summarize, we have a catastrophic crash in retail sentiment with the market's attention focused on short-term gains elsewhere. This is our bear case. But at the exact same moment, Cardano has secured a landmark partnership with a G20 nation, a catalyst of immense fundamental importance. The charts are reflecting this disconnect, showing signs of a classic accumulation pattern. This is the ultimate contrarian bull case. I am firmly siding with the bulls on this one. This is an opportunity that the market has completely mispriced. My conservative short-term price target for the next 1-2 weeks is for the market to begin digesting the Saudi news. This will fuel a sentiment reversal and a short squeeze, pushing the price through the 0.90 resistance and towards the psychological barrier of $1. My ambitious moonshot target for the next 3-6 months is based on the full implication of this news. As the pilot program develops and more details emerge, I believe this will be seen as the moment Cardano solidified its position as a global leader. This will trigger a major re-rating of the asset. My ambitious target is 1.85 cents. This is a moment of decision. You can follow the crowd and the negative sentiment, or you can look at the fundamental data and see the massive opportunity that everyone else is missing. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think low sentiment is a buy signal or a warning sign? And what do you make of the Saudi Arabia partnership? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for your time.